This video, together with the ton of holes in there, is going to expose the new capabilities. You can see selecting from the tree or directly from the 3D view, individual hole features will populate the Properties tab on the right-hand side with all the information stored. So we will see whether it's cylindrical, if it's a metric or an imperial, sized hole, details to the thread, etc. And it will, we can also see in this example, new holes created from the new holes command, legacy holes and imported geometry. So the legacy ones are the red colored ones. And we will see and show how the designer product is capable of interacting with all of them. Selecting a hole which has been created using the new hole command, and we of course have the full set of capabilities. We can change all of the parameters, all of the details. We can convert it into a different type of hole and different type of thread, so it's fully configurable by switching the mode on the top of the command from create to modify. If a feature is selected which is not where the thread is not found or the thread table can't be extracted, the closest alternative is selected, pre-selected in the holes command. So in this case, we could see it was an M8, which we now converted to an M6. And we, of course, can add a counter bore, we can add countersink. All of the parameters are, again, adjustable, including the normal direction and the axial direction of the part. We could briefly see that there is an error handling. So if the thread depth is larger than the hole depth, which wouldn't make sense, we have a warning in the 3D view as well as in the command and the structure tree. It works, of course, for both tapped and not tapped holes. Doesn't make a difference, and we can adjust and adopt all of the parameters as seen before. Also, tolerances have been added. You can see in the bottom of the command here that this is an H7 standard now. So all of the PMI information is stored. It's available in the properties. It can be fully configured and adapted using the new extension in terms of modification of holes. This again holds for legacy as well as latest data usage. Some nice things, you only need to select one face of a hole and it will automatically result in selecting the entire feature. The command, as you have seen, pre-populates automatically. You can select multiple entities or features from the tree or from the 3D view. And of course, you can also multi-pick, and we enabled filtering of parts. That's a very interesting topic. So if you point your attention to the structure tree, you will see that as soon as we have this whole modification done, that the filtering is going to be applied. In this case, we have changed multiple instances, and now we're taking a look. Using the search, we can search for wordings in the individual features, but we could also use the advanced filtering to, for example, only select features of the type hole with a depth equal to 12, which is 19 out of 31, as can be seen. And the keys can be the hole depth, it can be an angle, it could be the thread diameter. So it's basically all of the properties attached to a hole, to a threaded hole. Also interesting if you select a certain type, in this case it's counterbore, and you switch from counterbore to countersink and update this, so execute the change, then of course the feature is updated as well, representing the correct naming in the structure tree. Now it has changed from counterbore to countersink. What we have just seen here is also an interesting one. There is an intelligence behind the selection process, so the type of hole you select first will be applied to any selection that comes afterwards. So if you select 4 different features, the type of the first one will be automatically suggested to be applied to the other 3 you would select afterwards, which allows basically copying of properties, hole properties, if wanted. Now, I also talked about the capabilities that come downstream, like the translation command. So here we can see there has been a hole created, and now this using the move faces command, we can move, and by activating the pattern translation, we can make copies that allow for multi-copying, copying and multi-copying. We can not only move and copy, of course, we can also translate the feature, and we could also rotate a feature using the radial command, the rotate feature command, for instance. So for the rotate feature, we define the rotation axis, and then we can create a circular pattern if we would want to. And all of the information of the original hole feature is copied and is fully available in the instances created. Okay, closing this off, what we will see as the final part of the video shown here is not only we can change the parameters of a whole feature, but we can also change the direction, so the axial direction, normal direction, which defines the position and direction of the hole. This will be shown shortly. Here we go. On the other side, we select one of the holes. So using the holes command, select the hole, change to modify, select the hole. And now for the direction mode, we change to a long direction. And of course, this is applied as well using the parameters set. So all in all, a lot of capabilities and functionality added in order to make sure that you can adjust and adapt, making the experience and usage with the new holes command much, much more appropriate and on par with what you are used to, and going beyond as well.